everyone, it's Karen, and I'm here today to show you how I'm going to make myself a quick little junk journal to use during December. I want to use this for following up on the prompts or following up on a series of prompts over the Advent season, and also to probably also do December dailies within this journal. And if you saw my video a little while back or recently, I showed you a little tutorial about how I made myself a junk journal advent calendar. And what I included with my advent calendar that I made were a prompt for a journaling prompt for each day during Advent and on Christmas Day. So now I need a journal to put these in. So I thought I'm just going to make myself one, and I'm going to, I think I'll use a green cover with red binding, and I have a decoration, a die cut that I'm planning on using on the front as a decoration on the front page. So I'll put this aside because I want to use that for a die cut in a little bit. Actually, I've got 3 that I'm trying to decide between, so I'll cut all 3 of them out. And actually, I need to cut this one in half also, so it fits into my through my die cutting machine. Oh, I almost goofed that up. Oops. Things are avalanching off my desk. So I'll cut the red one in half because I want to use that for the front page decoration. The cover, I don't want to cut it in half. Good grief, I want to score it down the middle because I'm going to make this, the journal, once it's done, will be 8.5 inches tall and 5.25 inches across. No, 5.5 inches across. So I want to score it because the page is 11 inches wide, so I want to score it at 5.5. And I'm going to keep my cutting board out here. So here will be my cover. Put that aside for now. Now I have a bunch of papers that I have selected to use in my junk journal. So let's take a look through them. A couple pages I have are just pages I've pulled out of an old notebook I had. So these are just a tiny bit big, so I'll trim them down after. I just want to put these aside here. I also have 4 pages of coffee dyed paper, and what I did was I found a few little images, free images on online, and just printed them out on regular printer paper, and so each page will have a little bit of a decoration. So there's a little wreath, Christmas decoration, and a couple other Christmas decorations. So I'll fold each of these in half, as these are 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. They'll fit in just perfectly. So I'll need to decide if I want these images on the inside or the outside. I think I'll do some of each. just run the bone folder over these just to crisp up the folds. I also have 2 pages out of a vintage, nearly antique dictionary that I have. I picked up at my local thrift store. The dictionary is from 1929, so it's getting close to being antique material, over 100 years old. So I chose this one because it has the word Christmas on this page. And the second sheet I chose because it had, where is it hiding? This side. It has the word Advent. So we'll fold each of these, fold each of those in half. I also have a couple pages of ledger paper from a couple books that I have. Just want to check the measurements on here. I think this one is 8.5 by 11. Yeah, 8.5. Yeah, it's 8.5 by 11. So we'll fold this in half. I think this one is also. Maybe just a hair over 8.5, but that'll get trimmed down if necessary by 11. Fold this one in half. I also have this really fun paper. It's a neat little design on it. I'm not sure how visible that is on camera. But I happened across a whole stack of this paper at my thrift store. I forget what I paid, next to nothing for it, but I have like a huge stack of it. So I'm going to include one of those. And I have a page of old music sheet. So double check, this one is a little bit too large. So we'll trim down the edge to bring it to about 8.5. And I do want to trim this side off because I like the edge, the torn edge portion. And I also think this is probably, yeah, this is closer to 12 inches. So let's just take a little bit off. Yeah, let's take a little bit off the bottom of the page. And then I also have several sheets of scrapbook paper. Most of them are fairly light. This particular page is a little bit heavier cardstock. So let's work with this one first. What I want to do is keep a little bit of a pocket. So these are 12 by 12 pages. So what I want to do is I'm going to fold it this way so that, yeah. So I need this to be scored at, this is going to be for the height, so the height is 8.5 inches. and it needs to be did I do that wrong? No, the 8.5 inches tall and it's the 11 inches across. There we go. Okay, I'll get this straight. So you need to take about an inch off. And we'll keep that. I might be able to use that for a belly band or something else later on. And we'll need to, I want to score this so that it folds nicely. So this I want to score 5.5 inches. No, I want this, folding this the wrong way. There we go. I want the pockets to be on the outside because I'm going to use this as the first page inside the journal. So then it'll have a pocket on the inside, just inside the cover and just inside the back cover. So I want to do the taping. The last time I made one of these, I didn't tack down this until after I had assembled the book, and then I found out that that wasn't the best way to do it. So I'm going to use a little bit of double-sided tape on here. Those will be the first few pages. Which way do I want the stripes to go? Up and down or across? I think I'll do these ones up and down, these ones across, so we'll get some variety. So this is across, so I need 11 inches. Take off an inch off this side, and then this direction it has to be 8.5. Yeah. And this I can use for adding in pockets or something else later on. Let's fold this in here. And this page, yes, I want this 8.5, so I want to for it along this line for folding at 8.5. And it needs to be 11 inches wide. I think I did that the right way. Okay, I think I'm done with my cutter for now. This will be the very center. So I'll have spaces I can tuck a few things in here. So let's tack these pockets down. Okay, so let's start putting this together. So let's put all the plain pages here, the more decorative pages here. So there we have it. Let's just take a quick look and see. So that the intro is 1, 2, 3, 4. 31. Alrighty, so we're ready to get ready to bind this now. Just need to think about where I want the pages that aren't quite full size. I think they're okay as is. All my images are right side up. Just double check that. I haven't done it yet where I've stitched in something and found it to be upside down. It will probably happen one of these days. Yeah, everybody's right side up, okay? I'm gonna mark the middle. Let's get my little kit together. I have my awl. A needle. And I have a bunch of these little clips that I picked up at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. And I use them to hold the pages in place while I stitch it together and while I do the binding. There we go. Now the other thing I like to do is just take an old, any kind of book. I've seen a lot of people recommending using an old phone book, but those are harder to come by nowadays than they used to be. And I have a little template that I like to roughly line up. I prefer to do 5 holes when I do my pamphlet stitch, but it's up to you how many you want to do. I like doing it this way because I'm less likely to stab myself. I have done that before. So we have 5 holes punched in. So I don't need this now. And to stitch it up, I'm going to use some dental floss. This isn't embroidery floss, not dental floss. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to floss your teeth with this. Please don't. And I like to do the string about 3 times the length of the spine. Snip it. Now the pamphlet stitch is nice and easy to do. You go down through the center, catch the tail so it doesn't escape, come up on the second hole, go down the top, back up the second hole again. You're going to bypass the center, go down to the hole below. I'm just going to spin this around. That one was a little bit tighter. So go down there, come back up the bottom. Back down the second one. And then you're going to come back up the middle. Now when you come up the middle, you notice that our beginning thread is on this side of the middle. When you bring your needle back up, come back on this side, so that when you go to tie it up, you're going to tie over top of that. Make sure you get this nice and taut. And then tie it up. I usually like to do it in a knot 3 times. I'm going the opposite directions each one. So you can take the clips off. I like the contrast of the red stitching on here. I like that. To me, red and green are Christmas colors. So I want to add a little bit of a charm to the bottom, and I might regret this later, and you'll see in just a second what I mean by that. I'm just going to kind of weave this through a few times. Oops. Just so it kind of stays down towards the bottom and doesn't flip back and forth everywhere. This one we can trim off. And I found these adorable little clips or little charms. I think I got them somewhere on AliExpress. But it's like a little plastic bauble with little star-shaped, green star-shaped little sequin little things in there. So this is what I'm going to put. I'm going to tie that charm on here. I'm thinking I might regret this down the road if I break it, and then I'll end up with like 497 little tiny stars loose and all over the place. But that's a chance I'm going to take because it's just so adorable. I absolutely love it. So we're going to tie that on here. And then we're going to think about what we might want to put as a decoration on the front. So I don't want this to be too long. So kind of want it to just dangle just out the bottom. I say this is not one I'm going to be traveling around with all over the place, so I should be okay with it on here. We'll see as I show you flip throughs later on in the month whether this was a mistake or not, or whether I break this thing. So there we have it. That is cute. I do like this little charm at the bottom. Like I say, I might regret this later, but for now, I absolutely love it. Now the pages kind of angle out a bit. This little guy is kind of peeking out the top. I'm not going to fuss about that. I'm just going to let that go and leave it. A lot of times people will either take their paper cutter and just trim this down so that it's nice and perfectly flush all the way through. I'm okay with it being as is. So the last thing I wanted to do was add a little decoration on the front. So my options are 3 different dies that I have. Now I don't know if I want to keep it to a faith-based die for Christmas, for the Advent season, or if I want to do more of a non-faith-based Christmas theme. So I have this little bell. And I have this Christmas decoration. The last time I tried to use it, I couldn't get the paper out without tearing it because it's very, very intricate. There's even paper stuck in there from last. Hi again, I'm back. And when I went to edit this video, I found that the second portion of the video was corrupt. I have no idea what happened, but anyway, I lost the last part of the footage. So anyways, what I did in the last part of the footage that you don't get to see is I cut out the dies, contemplated what I wanted to do with them, where they wanted to go, and this is what I ended up deciding to do. So I had 3 dies. I decided I do want to go with the faith-based cover on here. So this die cut, little fluffies on here. So I decided to put seriously, it's Monday morning. So I decided to put this die on the front cover. I might add some text or something on the bottom to label it as Advent Christmas December 2019, and maybe I'll just put that on here. And with the other 2 dies that I cut out, the bell I decided to put on the inside of the front cover, and the ball decoration I decided to put on the inside of the back cover. So I used all 3 of the dies that all 3 of the Christmassy dies that I had, and popped them into 3 parts of the book. And that is my little junk journal that I'm going to use in December of 2019. Again, it has this pretty die on the cover. I gave it a cute little bauble. We'll see by the end of December whether this is still intact or whether it broke. Cross our fingers that it doesn't broke. Cross your fingers that it doesn't break, because if it does, we're going to have a lot of little sparkly glitter type stars everywhere. So that's the little bauble on it. What I did was I used cardstock, scrapbook paper, and miscellaneous papers that I had at home. Dictionary pages, coffee dyed paper, ledger paper, things of that sort all through here. I allowed for 2 little pockets in the center, and I have a pocket on the inside back cover and the inside front cover. In the journal has the cover plus 16 pieces of paper, which gives me, not even including this portion, gives me 32 full spreads to write on. So I haven't decided 100% what I'll use everything in this pretty little journal for. I created an advent calendar that I'm going to use for the 24 days of Advent plus Christmas Day. I have a little journaling prompt in each of those packets, so I'm planning on journaling on each of them. So for the first day of Advent, I will journal here when I see what the prompt is. I may use the entire page for the entire spread for each prompt, or what I might do is keep my eye out for other December journaling prompts, whether they're a series of words throughout December or whether they are following along with the December daily concept. I haven't decided for sure which one I'll do. So it might only be the Advent calendar pages, plus when I get past the 25th for the last few days of the month, I will use some of the extra prompts that I have. I'll just randomly draw those and use those for the last few pages, and use each of those for a spread for each of those. Or I might do the Advent page on one side and December daily or other December prompts on the other side of the page. I'll decide once we get to December, and I'll keep you posted. So there we have it. I'm sorry I lost the footage for the portion where I was making the dies and attaching them and all that stuff. That part's gone. But anyway, so I just refilmed a little ending portion. The focus is going all wonky on here. There you go, that seems to settle it down. So anyway, I forgot what I was saying. So there we have it, my junk journal for December 2019. Hope you enjoyed the process, and take care everyone. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more about junk journaling and all sorts of other goodies along that line. So take care everyone, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.